Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Rise of the Podcast. I'm Jeremy.
I'm Kara.
I'm Brownie.
And we'd like to introduce you to our newest member, P1NK. Oh, Lord. She's a scoundrel droid. She takes a little hit off the oil can a bit too often.
So, tell us about this droid really quick, Kara.
I made her at Galaxy's Edge. She's a scoundrel droid, and her name is P1NK.
Oh, that is awesome.
She's sassy. Right. She's real sassy, and she talks a lot.
She does. So we're going to continue on and then just talk about our topics for the day. And, P1NK can stay there and hang out and do what she does.
Add her input as necessary.
And I had her... See, this is what we put up with. See, she is a scoundrel droid.
She is.
And she has an optional gun kit that isn't attached right now. But...
Yes, she does. She likes to go around shooting Brownie and Jeremy.
Oh, yeah. I got shot a lot, so... all right, so we just got back from Galaxy's Edge, and that was experience of a lifetime. And if you haven't, learned about that, you can go back and check out podcast episode number 11.
Yep.
And
no, that you can do the card.
Oh, check out our podcast number 11 right here.
Yeah.
And you can learn more about that. But so this is my first time to Disneyland. As was it Kara's and Chris, you've been to Disney World. Mm-hmm. So there's Disneyland, and then there's Disneyland Adventure Park, and then there's Downtown Disney. And Downtown Disney, you don't need anything to pay anything to get into.
Right.
You can walk down there, and we had been walking up and down Downtown Disney, getting to know the place. They got some really cool stuff, a Lego store.
4 Starbucks.
4 Starbucks.
Yeah, right. That made me happy.
Which reminds me of the Lego store. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to give a shout out to Mikkel and Hallie.
Mm-hmm.
On our drive down there, they sent us a video.
Yep.
And they said, can you watch this video? We were driving and we all wanted to watch it together. Well, I know what it's like. We all know what it's like to make something and to wait feedback.
Yes.
So I feel all bad about how long it took to give some feedback to these.
Well, we had all wanted to watch it together.
We all wanted to watch
the
it
fact
together.
that we were in the middle of driving, one person was
Right.
constantly driving, we're not going to sit and watch a movie, distraction and all that. And so... Anyway,
we meant to watch it right away, but then we got sucked up into Disneyland, and then so we watched it, a couple days later. Anyways, we watched it, and it was so awesome. They made a video that was in the style of Rise of the Podcast.
Yep.
So we have basically 2 new members of Rise of the Podcast, Mikkel and Hallie, that are going to be. Maybe we can start them a second channel or something, Chris,
right?
and then they can have.
They're already basically better than I am. So.
Because like Vsauce has Vsauce 2, like sub channels. So
yes,
they're our newest members of Rise of the Podcast, and
Welcome.
we just want to say we loved your video so much. It really that warmed my heart.
it was awesome.
It was really good. It was a time lapse of an X-wing
of a TIE fighter.
TIE fighter. Oh my gosh, TIE fighter, not X-wing.
And it was just so fun to see. Your guys' Mikkel's and Hallie's interpretation of the way that we do things. So it was really fun. And because of that, we got you something at the Lego store in Downtown Disney.
Oh boy.
So we will be finding you and giving you that. So be prepared for that. And we're really, excited to do that. But okay. So anyway, so just thank you guys so much. It was awesome.
We really appreciate it. It was really cool.
It was so cool.
It was awesome.
Very good. So Chris, we'd walk by this place called The Void.
Right.
And I saw that there was a Star Wars thing. Well, we did the cover of the Oculus Quest when it came out and went over that, what we thought of that. And we played Vader Immortal.
Yep.
Well, the same people who make Vader Immortal made this game called Secrets of the Empire. And it's a VR experience at what's called The Void. And they've got locations, I guess, all over the U.S. They've got actually quite a few.
The grand opening for the one in MOA is actually this weekend.
Yeah. And so there's going to be one at the Mall of America. And it's what VR should have been all along. It was it blew my mind. So Kara and I would go in there and we knew that we got to play the Star Wars game, but I didn't know it was untethered.
Right.
And through a building where the things in the building, are interacting with you. So you go there.
How much do you want to give away? Because it's the same experience everywhere, right?
It is.
Yes.
So I wouldn't give too much of the plot away because the mechanics of how it works.
So you put on a helmet and you put on a backpack that is also like a vest.
It's like a tactile
vest. And what's crazy is you get put in a room, and I won't go into too much detail about the actual story, but you get put in a room And it's kind of this transitions you from being in real life into VR. So you lower your headset and then like the room gets covered in a cool thing. And then you can see your fellow, it's up to 4 people can play at the same time.
We had 3 in our group.
So I could see Kara and then our other like player guy. And we were all stormtroopers on a secret mission working for the rebellion. It was mind-blowingly cool.
Yeah.
So you don't have a controller or anything like that, but it tracks all your finger movements. It tracks where your body is in location of the room. And as you progress through the story, what happens in the VR experience, you can do it in real life. So like the door opens up and you run out onto a platform. And so the door opens and I like looked at those guys and I was closer to the door. So I was like, all right, I'm going through. I'm just waiting to like hit my head or something.
Right, just wait and just walk, just
right into the wall or something. And so we walked through and then it was on Mustafar. You can see that in the thumbnail, which is a hot volcano-y planet. And it just, you get, you don't like Mustafar, do you?
I didn't hit any buttons, I swear.
No, that's just her doing her thing. So see, she knows Mustafar. So we go through and it gets blasted with heat. And then the platform that we're on goes up and then like travels. And then just like you'd experience if you're on a motorcycle or something, you just get hit with the cool wind, as you're moving and stuff like that. So as you progress through these different levels, you're actually walking in real time and in real space.
The one part that tripped me up is there's a scene where there's a part where you sit down.
Oh yeah.
And
he even said, like the character says, take a seat. And you're
and we kind of looked at each other like, what? We had to kind of reach back and actually make sure there was something there. But I mean, it was amazing. Completely immersive. You felt like you were actually there. I mean, so good. If you get a chance to do it, do it.
The best part about it all, it's a slight spoiler, but obviously there's stormtroopers, there's a part where you walk into the room and just instinctually you see a gun rack on the wall and you reach out and there are actual guns for you to pick up and use. And aim down the sight and use. And it's all like, you can't see your hands because you're in VR, but it's all there. And Kara had the bigger bounty, which means she did a better job.
I had an 87,000 credit bounty compared to Jeremy's 80,000 credit bounty.
Yep. So she's wanted more by the Empire than me. And I think this little scoundrel here, P1NK, it's got to have at least like $100,000 bounty.
Oh, at least. She's sassy.
She's sassy. She's wanted really bad by the government. So if you were wondering what it's like, it's $30 per person, but it's an experience all of its own.
How long did it take to do?
15. The whole experience takes up between 30 and 40 minutes, but the VR portion is 15.
Yeah. So so when they say basically from when you go in, you sign their
waiver and all
waivers,
that, fill information,
and then you go through. You get a picture taken at the end. In the headpiece and the vest. So by the time you're finally out, it's about a half hour.
Yep. It's awesome. And so he recommend maybe book ahead of time, and it's $30 a person or $35 a person.
30.
One of the two. 30.
But then afterwards you can purchase like pictures and you can buy t-shirts and stuff.
And actually, Chris, we'll put a picture here of Kara and I at the end, so you can kind of see what the gear looks like and the backpack and whatnot and stuff like that. So we'll put that up and you can check it out. And also go to their website, The Void.
We'll put a link in the description.
We'll put a link in the description, and you can kind of see the trailer and get a feel for it yourself. It is amazing. It is what VR should be. Now I want Kara to. One other thing: when you get shot, the vest impacts where you get hit. So it's kind of like Ready Player One, the VR movie, where, you have a whole bodysuit on. It was, if you got shot in the leg, you wouldn't know. But yeah, you feel like the vibrate and the heat of the shot going through you. It's really cool. Mm-hmm. I highly recommend checking that out. So,
well, it's nice too because it's pretty inclusive with who can play and stuff. So like, we were reading and you can, like, let's say you're in a wheelchair, you can take a wheelchair through it.
Yep,
that's totally fine. Basically, the only limitation is you can't take like a powered scooter through it, or you can't go if you're pregnant.
Right.
And you have to be at least, 48 inches tall?
48 inches tall, I believe it was, yeah.
So, like, depending on how tall your kid is, 10, 12 plus.
Right.
Right. Well, I know, like, on the, I made a post on the Star Wars celebration page, and somebody asked, they're like, well, I'd like to bring my 5-year-old nephew. I was like,
5 is probably a little too young.
Yeah.
And not tall enough. Unless you have a tall 5-year-old. I don't know.
A 4-foot tall 5-year-old sounds like a monstrous time to deal with.
Sounds like me.
Like Kara was back in the day. But okay, so Downtown Disney. So that was one of the things that we did. And then another cool thing, for the first time in my life, we got a caricature done.
Yeah.
And so we'll post a picture. Should we show everyone the caricature?
Yeah, put it like in the middle area there.
Right here.
Put it in the middle?
Yeah.
Oh, we'll put the caricature right here.
Uh-huh.
It was an awesome experience. So we got it themed, of course. We got it Star Wars themed.
Han and Leia.
Our artist's name was Terry, and she turns out she was from Minnesota as well, and she grew up in Minnesota. And this is all right outside. Downtown Disney is really neat. You go through like a metal detector area, but then you're there. Mm-hmm. And you're only ever 10 feet from a Starbucks. But they've got restaurants.
Again, I'm okay with this.
Right. Oh, we had a corn dog. We had the golden
dragon. I think
golden dragon.
It was
corn
super
dog.
Good. It was like a panko breaded corn dog with sweet and sour, or like a mustard aioli something or other.
It was a sriracha
aioli. Yeah.
Aioli. And that was really good. But so we got this caricature done, and then the girl goes like, "Oh, we love Star Wars," and she goes, "Oh, I can do like a Han and Leia theme one." So we did that, and so Kara went first. I got to watch her just have Kara come to life, and it is amazing what these people can do with just their mind and their hands, and just like envision what they want, and it just comes out into fruition without making any mistakes whatsoever.
Well,
or they recover them. And it's just the detail that she put in. She put the little R2 unit behind you, and then she put the X-wings and stuff in there. And then Chris,
the Death Star was
Chris, you were joking because you were following us around to the camera, and so Chris is like, "Oh, you could add me, like off in the corner hiding with a camera
in a bush,
or whatever." And the lady goes, "I can add that." And Chris is like, "No."
I was like, "I want this to be a good caricature. I don't want them to be creeped out every time they look at it."
We wouldn't be creeped out, but it was just so funny. She was like, "Oh, I can do that," and it was all
like she was like a second away from getting that pen out of the paper. It's like, no.
So that was something that was really fun, and it. All of Disney, it was really cool. I would have liked to have seen a little bit more of Disney, but we had the 3-day pass, and that was, we used it to the full extent and went into Disneyland all 3 days. We did walk around. So normally when you walk in the front gates, off to the left is Galaxy's Edge, and then as you walk around the park, we went on the backside of the Magic Castle. Watch the fireworks display. That was absolutely incredible. We did a hyperlapse of that. You'll have to check out the footage and see how that turns out.
Yeah, there could be one to several additional supporting videos coming out to this, probably on Instagram. So shameless plug, follow us. We're at Rise the Podcast on Instagram.
Yep. But we definitely have to come up with like a highlight reel of the overall experience.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we got to check out more of the Disneyland and get to see everything like that. And we the store, and the only thing we didn't do that was on the list was to have some Dole Whip. We couldn't find where they sold it.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
So Dole Whip is it's like a yogurt made with Dole pineapples. It's like a really light, fluffy.
Yeah.
Or is it? Think of like a Frosty or a
like an icy type, but like a little finer than that. I don't know.
Like the blue milk, or
probably.
Yeah, I guess the texture of blue milk, but it's made with pineapple and actual pineapples, not flavor.
It was really good.
That sounds pretty awesome.
It was really good, but we just couldn't find where it was.
You probably Google it.
Right. Well, it was in the tropical something hideaway, but so that was the only thing we didn't get to do. One of the other really cool things about Disneyland is if you're a big Pokemon Go player, go check out Disneyland, because my goodness. Was there a lot of Pokestops, Pokegyms? We cleared a gym, and I hadn't even got I had a guy put on there, but he was instantly like removed.
It was like 2 minutes we were on that gym, and it was down.
Yeah.
And it takes three rounds of fighting everybody on there to get them downed. It was unbelievable.
It would be interesting to know how many times those gyms exchanged hands, because it was absolutely crazy.
Well, if we were booted off in like 2 minutes, I mean, you gotta think that it's
2 minutes times it opens at 8 and it goes till midnight. So I would probably say,
a billion times a day. That's my rough man.
20 times an hour.
So speaking of gyms, Kara and I are at a gym in the middle of nowhere, Utah.
Gosh.
We're still on there. I just checked. We've been on there for 2 days. We stopped to get like gas or something in Joseph, Utah.
Yes.
So if you're watching from Joseph, Utah, hands off that gym.
Right? Seriously. That's ours. Dang it.
Well, it was so funny because it was like right away you guys had put people on there with the expectation that you might be on there for a little bit. But then
in the amount of time it took Kara and I to put our characters on, Jeremy couldn't put one on because somebody started fighting it.
Yes.
We were like, what the heck? There's a population of probably 10 in this town.
And I was like, heck no. So I'm doing the golden raspberry cheese, stopping people from being able to flip it. And then they stopped fighting it, and then they just have never gone back. So I don't know what if it was somebody like it just started playing and we just totally just trolled them so they couldn't do anything. But yeah, so like we're still on there, slacking in Toros, holding down Joseph, Utah for all time.
But you guys will have to. We'll keep them updated week to week as if you guys are still on there, and see how long you can get your streak going for.
Yeah, if we have to go knock them off ourselves when we go back to Anaheim.
Right.
Next August.
Yeah, so it'll be a while. It'll be a while, but it'd be cool if you guys held your championship that long.
That would be pretty sweet.
It would be.
Now I wish I would have got on there, but
we can always swing back down through there.
Yeah, right. Go back. It's a beautiful state. I was absolutely blown away at how that was. And then so we made a hyperlapse of the drive, and that turned out extremely incredible as well.
I feel both of our hyperlapses were when I was driving.
They were, and that's why you can tell.
There's a large chunk of Nebraska that I did.
Yeah, the first the day that we did it, and then and then you were in Nebraska for the second half. It got everybody in there the second day.
Yeah.
And that's a really cool feature. Those GoPros are really awesome. I did a hyperlapse going into Disneyland. I did one of the fireworks. We did one of the driving, and the driving one is just so smooth and looks so good. But Utah, man, that is just a beautiful state. Like just the ups and downs. And if you look at a blown out map of the United States, or like a zoomed out map of the United States, you can just see you go down for a while and then you slowly gain elevation, and then just that curves through the one like really high rocky part is just all so beautiful.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you were sleeping the first day, but every single corner we took, Chris was sitting up front with me. Every single corner was like, "Oh my goodness, look at that!" Another corner, "Oh my goodness, look at that!" Like every single scene was gorgeous.
Yeah, the Utah Department of Tourism is vastly underselling what Utah has to offer,
It's
at least
crazy.
visually,
right? Well, and the other thing is we saw you drive over there's 7 Mile Bridge and all these famous landmarks. Utah, the 106 or 102 mile stretch where there's no gas stations, no exits.
Yeah.
You can't even turn around. So, I mean, that was like a weird feeling.
Between Green River and Salina, Utah.
Yep.
It's something, it's just like when somebody tells you can't do something, you want to do it. So it just seems weird that you can't stop for 106 miles or whatever. And
well, it's kind of funny because Jeremy looked it up about this 106 mile stretch, and there's a gas station in Green River.
Yep.
And then after you hit that Green River gas station, there's a sign that says, "Oh, you're on a 106 mile stretch. You're not getting gas for the next 106 miles."
So the warning sign for one of the directions is after the gas station.
It's like, and there's no place you can turn around. You can't just go, hooky-ooey on one of the median.
The 106 miles of fence on both sides of the road.
Yeah,
which was really funny.
Yeah, notice there's just this little wire fence that's running it's between 15 and 50 feet from the edge of the road.
Right.
It's just, but over everything, you're talking it's not like small rolling hills. It's like going up and down these huge hills.
Oh yeah.
Like these buttes and stuff like that. Just go.
I was like, what the heck is up with this fence? And it's apparently to keep animals from just running across the highway.
Right.
And there's little berms that they can use to they have control points where they can get over the fences. But only in the direction moving away from the highway. So if they somehow are on the highway, they can get away from it, but they can't get onto it.
Right.
And I didn't notice any animals on there or any.
I didn't either. No roadkill, nothing.
Yeah.
Must be things like road runners and wild coyotes or something.
Yeah. I never even put that together. It would have been cool to see a road runner.
It would have been.
Right. No, that was, was really funny. So it was a long drive, right? It was a long drive. We got, the Pokemon in Utah. It just reminds me of a story, Chris, and a story that I'm embarrassed to tell. But I'm going to tell it. So when Chris and I were on a road trip down to see our friend in Oklahoma City, Mike, and I had never been to Oklahoma City before. So we got there a little early and Mike was still at work and he recommended this restaurant that we go check out. So Brownie and I went over and checked out this restaurant, and this happened to be on Valentine's Day.
Yes.
We were in Oklahoma City on Valentine's Day. Do you remember the name of the restaurant?
I don't recall, but it was a burger place. I could drive you there right now, but I could not remember the name of it.
Maybe it's a good thing we don't tell, because maybe they'll be mad at me for this end of the story. Although it wasn't my fault. It wasn't my fault.
You're just trying to help.
So Chris and I are there together on Valentine's Day. We go in, we have our burgers, and about halfway through, it's like, I need to go to the bathroom. It was just a simple bathroom usage. So I go into the bathroom, and I'm a big, fan, don't waste water and electricity and stuff like that. So I go in the bathroom, and the toilet's running. And it's one where, you're in by yourself. It's just a toilet, no urinal, no stall or anything like that. And you can lock the door behind you, sink, paper towel, all that. And so I hear the toilet running, and I go over to it. I pull the top of the porcelain tank off, and first I peed, and I thought to myself, it's like, I could fix this. It's probably just something really simple. And so usually, like when a toilet, the plunger might not be down all the way. There's a little check ball.
The ball might be misadjusted.
Misadjusted or something. So I was like, I'll just hit it really quick, and we'll be good to go. So I look in there, and it was overflowing. So the top of the tube, there's a little overflow tube in case the water gets stuck on. It runs down the drain and just like goes down this overflow tube and down the drain. And so I thought, oh, maybe that just needs to be adjusted. So there's an arm in a balloon, and when the water level revs up, it shuts it off. And then there's a screw adjustment as well. So I was like, I had a quarter in my pocket. All I did was lean in and just touch the screw on top of the toilet. It came out, the whole top of the water fill hit me in the face, and it was just full pressure. It hit my face, it hit my glasses. You know when you hold the spoon the wrong way and it gets water everywhere? That was my face. And the toilet was the stream of water, and water went everywhere. And it was full blast. So when I moved my head back, it's hitting the ceiling, you know, there's water running, drip, drip, drip. I'm like, this is not good. I'm in a public bathroom on Valentine's Day. So I just jumped down, I shut the water off, and I assessed the situation. At this point, there was standing water, like not an inch, but like, you know, maybe an eighth of an inch of standing water on the entire floor. There's water on the ceiling that's like puddling and then making drip, drip, drip. And I look around, I am completely and utter soaked. I mean, there's no way I'm not getting out of this without getting busted. So I was like, do I deal with the water first? Do I finish fixing the toilet? What do I do here? So it's like, kind of assess the situation. Chris is waiting for me the whole time. Has no idea what's going on. So the first thing I do is I go in, I look around, and I see the water is running towards the door. So I grab just a ton of paper towel, and I like plug the bottom of the door so the water doesn't start coming out from underneath the door, because that buys me some time. Then I go in, I really quickly grab the screw, put the top of the toilet back together, adjust it properly, like flinch, turn it back on. The toilet goes and stops like it's supposed to. So just from like using it just over and over and no one ever adjusting it, it just must have been backing itself off to the point where it was allowing the water to overflow down the drain.
You were just trying to make your own bidet, don't lie.
Yeah, I was desperate. I needed to be
That'd
clean.
Be the most
on
awkward bidet ever.
standing over the bowl or the tank or whatever.
It's just like perched like a bird on the back of the tank.
So
Jeremy.
I put the lid on, and then I had to clean up all the water. So I grabbed like basically the whole roll. I swoop up all the water. At this point, I'm just packing it into the garbage can. Luckily, it was one of those like medium high ones. It's full of just wet paper towel. But then I had to come to the moment of truth where I had to walk out in front of everybody, because there's no way I'm dry at this point. I was completely.
He was in there for like a half hour. It felt like.
Chris was like, man, Jeremy's backed up today.
Yeah.
I was like, did he ditch me? What's going on?
I'd left you at the check or whatever. And so I opened the door, and I just remember, like, as I walked by, people just looking at me and then going confused like this. I walked straight over to Chris, and I was like, we got to get out of here. Like, let's go. And Chris is like, oh, what? What? As he looks, and I just went straight out of the restaurant. Straight out. We got in the car. We left, and I will never go back in that restaurant again. I am just far too embarrassed to go back and to deal with that situation.
There's probably been a huge turnover of staff there. You're probably good to go back.
Well, I just imagine too. Could you imagine like just trying to enjoy your Valentine's Day, and they're like, "What did that guy do?"
And just Jeremy going.
Yeah, I mean,
the store.
You know, if you've seen Ace Ventura, it was like Ace Ventura Pet Detective. Go in there. You know, and just water comes out.
Jeremy goes over to one of the staff. I think your bathroom needs some work.
Some attention.
Some attention.
You know, if I would have just left it alone, you know, the simple thing I could do, you know, in hindsight would be just to shut the water off first and then fix it. But the even simpler thing in hindsight is just not touch it.
I was gonna say, Jeremy isn't the type necessarily. I don't know if you know this. Jeremy's not the type to turn things off before he works on them.
What?
Jeremy will do all of his electrical work hot.
What? I can get it done quicker that way.
I mean, I'm just expecting, you know the scene in Home Alone when, is it Marv?
Yeah.
With a beard? He gets electrocuted. It's like you see the skeleton, electricity. I'm just expecting one day to come in and see Jerry like, you know.
Just smoldering.
I haven't had it happen yet. I mean, I've gotten shocked a couple times, but that's fine.
I've gotten shocked a couple of times.
That's how you learn.
Wonder why he's missing hair.
Yeah. Electricity encourages male pattern baldness. That's what it is.
Just burn it out. Just.
Oh my gosh.
So that was my Oklahoma driving story. So that one it's just a funny story I was thinking about while we were, you know, driving all this time to think about what that was like. So while we were on the topic of driving around, so we end up like occasionally it's like, oh, we just need to find any gas station right to pull off to. And we came across a couple of sketchy ones. There's one in I want to say I forgot about this story.
There's one in East Colorado we can talk about.
So I think this one was in Utah, where we stopped and guy like Jeremy. The usual procedures: we stop. Jeremy fills up the thing with
I remember
gas,
this one.
and it's like, okay, I'm gonna run and use the bathroom, whatever. So I'm going in. The guy holds the door open for me. Like, oh, cool, thanks, whatever. And then both of us like sort of stop and like assess like where's the bathroom. So we're like, we're now like in lockstep for me and the random other dude. And it's like then we see the bathroom, so we're like making our way over there or whatever. We go in and. So it's a dice roll whether or not there's just going to be only a stall or only a toilet or a stall and a urinal,
Right.
whatever. We get in, there's a stall and a waterfall, and that's it. And the stall, like I hate the stalls that have like 4-inch gaps.
Yes.
Oh my god.
And this one, it's basically you might as well have just had glass.
Right.
Right. And it's like you can't hide anything that's going on in there. So like we walk in and then we're like, well, that's kind of weird. And then we look and the waterfall has like target zones on it, for lack of a better word. The waterfall is the urinal. And it's
I
not
have
like,
never seen a urinal like that in my life.
It's not like the trough style like at like ballparks or something where it's straight across. Yeah. It's curved. So if you're on the far left slot or the far right slot, you're basically peeing at somebody.
Yeah.
And anyway, so we're like, so we walk in, we kind of look for a second, then we both see the thing, we look at each other, and I was like, I'll let you go first. And I walk out.
It was,
right? And we both kind of like laugh about it. So, you know, a minute later he comes out and he looks for me. He like locks eyes with me and he's like, it's about to get real for you. Sorry, I'm gonna have to censor myself there.
Yeah.
But like, it's about to get real. And
Right.
it's like, what? And he's like, just trust me. So I go inside and I hadn't noticed the first time when I went in there with him that there was somebody in the stall. And so like I walk up to the water feature. I'm getting ready to take care of business. All of a sudden I hear, oh, like, literally cartoonish. And I can't help but kind of like turn and react. And like I turn and I see this guy in there that's just like miserable.
Yeah.
I'm like, ah. So I turn back around. It's like, you know, taking, you know, do whatever to the waterfall. And the whole time it's just like the most cartoonish soundtrack ever. Of somebody who sounds like they have just gastrointestinal distress, who's just like groaning and burping. He's like, I was like trying to not laugh.
Right.
Trying to not laugh while there's a dude dying next to me and I'm peeing into a waterfall.
He was dying. Well, so
I get done, wash my hands, whatever. I walk out and I see Jeremy walking in and I was like, oh, the bathroom's over there, right?
Yep.
And he walks in and a second later he comes walking back out and was like, no, the water feature is the urinal.
Yeah. No, so I walked in and I was like literally this. I see the guy in the bathroom through the crack in the door, the 4-inch crack in the door. I'm like, okay, that's full. I look and I go, oh, there's only one toilet in here. So I walked out and that's when Chris was like, yeah, no, that's that. So I walked back in. It was the exact same thing. I look and it's just, and like I said, it could have been if it would have just made it like a baseball diamond where it would have been like flat on one side, but it is actually curved and it's just this giant waterfall. I mean, it must have been 5 feet wide.
Yeah, it's like you could comfortably fit 4 people around it.
Right, you're just...
But it would be very awkward.
Comfortably fit.
Yeah, there's comfortably
and
spaced.
awkward
Yes.
don't fit in the same sentence.
This is the one example where it does.
Yeah, and then did you think... I think there was some sort of motion sensing when you got close. The waterfall would start.
Yeah, it would start. It wouldn't go until you got next to it.
Yeah, and then it
Okay, now how does that make you feel, though, knowing that there's a sensor that's...
Well, it's infrared. It's not like it's a camera. And if it's a camera...
It's just some guy. It's the dude in the toilet who's actually operating. It's like, oh, somebody's in here. Oh, crank.
But no, and then the same thing. The poor
it's a
guy.
soundtrack.
The poor guy. He was belching the entire time I was in there, and it was uncomfortably.
What on earth? Like,
yeah, it was
whatever ended up happening to that person. I wouldn't wish that on my greatest enemy because it sounded like he was close to death.
He probably had food poisoning.
It was, you know, and I'm sure. It was insane, but that is one of the crazy. There's no way I'm fixing that bathroom.
Okay, so
not touching that one.
The craziest bathroom for me on our trip was the one that had the sign "Women on the right" or "Men on the left" because women are always right.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a single.
That
bathroom.
was in Utah where the Pokestop is.
Oh, that was Joseph.
Oh, that's
it was.
right.
There's 2 doors. One door leads into like. I don't know, some lounge area or something.
In your
it
bathroom?
Had like no. It was there were
yeah, like what you would think would be the women's room and men's room door.
Right.
One of them is not even bathroom related at all.
Right.
Oh, right.
So you walk into the one, there's 2 stalls. And I'm like, okay. It said women on the right because men are or whatever.
Yeah, men on the left because women are always right.
And so I'm thinking there should be 2 bathrooms, but there's not. So I walk in. I'm like, I sure hope I'm not walking into the men's bathroom because the door was on the left.
Right.
I was like, I didn't know. And so I walked in and there were women things in the garbage and stuff. So I was like, okay, at least I'm in the, women or in the bathroom. But
yeah.
it's a bathroom for men and women.
So Kara walks in and I see the same sign on the thing. It's like, oh, there must be like some, like most places, it'll just split and force you to walk around like a corner on the left or the right. But like I'm opening and the first thing you see is a sink and a mirror and like hand towels. I'm like, oh crap, this is like a regular bathroom,
or
whatever. And it's like I'm walking in on the exact same thing, except I'm like following Kara in, and then I hear the other door shut. I'm like, what's? And then like I open the thing, and then there's just 2 more doors.
It's just like 2 stalls, but it's a women's bathroom with 2 stalls.
Yeah, but with full on like doors. It's not like a cube or anything. It's just like. They're like concrete walls with like real actual doors. So like the kind of the
bathrooms, I think McDonald's has full door.
Yeah,
well, these are like house doors though. They're not just they're not like a flimsy regular door. It's like the door you would put on the outside of your house to get into your home.
That was also the gas station. She had a map on the wall with pins that were all your locations. And I really wanted to put a pin in where we were from. I was like, that's a pretty cool map over there. And she's like, yes, it is. And I'm like, oh, do you put pins in where you're from? And she goes, yep. There wasn't a pin in sight. I was like, I don't think she wanted us to put a pin in where we're from. She didn't want to know. She just wanted us to get out of there.
Oh, there's already one in Duluth, so.
Yeah.
But no, that was the most awkward bathroom for me because that's like, I'm sure everybody questions whether or not they're going into the right bathroom.
Yeah, no, and maybe that's just like, she just started this whole gas station so she could troll people in the bathroom.
Seriously.
She's
like, right, with the whole situation being that way. So yeah, that's what you get. You go on road trips, you get funny bathroom stories.
Yeah, well, you guys found a bug dying on the floor of yours.
Yeah, that was the one in East Colorado. Everything is out of order in Colorado. I'm sorry. If you're from Colorado, everything is out of order.
Yeah, the only thing that works is the Rockies.
Yes. That was beautiful coming down I-70 there. But yeah, so we told this story about the gas leak hotel. Mm-hmm. And on the way back, we check into our
meth lab hotel.
Our hotel there. And so we could check into that one. And the lady was super nice who was running the desk and everything. We get into the bathroom though. We check into our room. It was hot. It was humid. We had a really nice hotel in California. And when we go in there, the tub is plugged.
Standing water.
And yeah, there's at least 4 inches of standing water in the tub.
I went to use the bathroom and all of a sudden I heard this drip, drip, drip. And I was like, ugh, Jeremy.
So the water, and hey, I didn't touch those ones. They were leak. They were tight and they were leaking. Both sides were. So it was like, you could take them apart and clean them and then put them back together. It'll seal. But I was like, I'm not going to deal with this, We were just so tired and everything. But yeah, so the water was running and someone plugged the tub. That's just an accident waiting to happen. If we hadn't
We're on the second floor, somebody's going to get crushed by the tub in the first floor.
Yeah, and have all the water come in and run, whatever. So it's like I had to call the front desk lady after I already told her about the reason why we didn't stay at the other hotel in Colorado is because of the gas leak and we just wanted to get a good night's sleep here. So when I called her, she's like, is there something wrong with your room? And she felt like it was preemptively felt bad. I said, no, I just want to make it known that the tub is leaking and it wasn't our fault. So please don't charge me for it, because it's like, it's already leaking. And then Chris is like, they're not coming to fix it, are they? I said, no, don't fix it. It's shut off as best it can be. You can tackle this at 6 a.m. when we leave,
Yeah,
whatever.
there's just be some big sweaty guy in there just cranking on the thing all night. And no, I want to
just let it be. We'll let it go and stuff like that. So
well, there were stains on the sheets and the carpet and everything.
Well, my sheets were clean. The carpet, on the other hand, looked like there was a knife fight where nobody won.
I was waiting when I opened the closet doors and a body were to fall out.
I know, seriously. And then all the handles and stuff just had a layer of hand scum on them. How when you use things too much, it just kind of gets dark.
But there wasn't a gas leak.
This is true. We did sleep the night through. So that was good.
So, yeah.
The best sleep we've ever had in Denver.
Amen to that.
Well, it's so the morning on the way out of town, Chris was the first one to drive after the gas leak story. And we stopped at a gas station. I really had to go to the bathroom because we'd been kicked out of our room for 2 hours. And I walk in and I go, excuse me, miss, is there a bathroom? And she goes, nope, it's out of order. And that was after we just, is anything work here? It was such a bummer, Your family members were nice.
Of course they were.
That was literally the highlight of the thing. They were so nice.
I know.
That was a really, really good time.
Uncle Russ and Sandy are awesome.
Yeah, they treated us to dinner and it was really good food and it was a good time.
It was.
And so, but it was like, oh.
Well, and then they gave us a whole box of Star Wars stuff.
Yeah, that's right. We got Shakespeare Star Wars books and a sweet like Darth Vader
We got
tumbler
two
mug.
Tervis like hot cold tumblers. I got Yoda socks with little ears on them.
I almost wore those, by the way.
You can't wear my Yoda socks. You're
They're
going to
my
stretch them
size.
out with your
They're
big
my
old
size.
feet.
How do you know they're not Jeremy's Yoda socks?
Yeah.
Because Sandy gave them to me. She
Well,
handed
what's
them
yours is
to
his, and what's his is yours.
No. The saying is what's his is mine, and what's mine is mine.
And what's yours is also mine.
So, Kara,
Mm-hmm.
tell us about your ring.
So, Rock Love, where is this going to be? Here we go. Rock Love did a limited release of the Ahsoka Tano ring. They collaborated with Ashley Eckstein to make this ring, and they were only going to sell 1,000 of them until they were sold out. I think some of the 1,000 were going to be sold at
Comic-Con.
San Diego Comic-Con. So I found out about it probably 2 weeks before they went on sale. And so I told Jeremy, I was like, I want this ring. But it goes on sale at 11 o'clock Central Time on Friday, July 18th. I was like, I can't leave work to go and order this thing. You have to. So Jeremy left work at probably, 10:30?
Yep.
Got
He
home.
abandoned his country.
Yeah.
Just
I just
to
took
make
my lunch
sure.
break early.
To make
is
sure
that
I
what it
got
is?
my
Yes.
ring. Yes.
It
totally
wasn't
worth
treason.
it.
No.
Ashley actually wore this to Star Wars Celebration
Yes, she did.
when she was signing autographs and stuff. Anyway, so Jeremy went home and got on the computer at 11, or, a little before that.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, they sold out. I think we talked about it, but they sold out in less than 5. Like, I refreshed at 5 minutes and there was one size left. And then at 6 minutes in, I refreshed again and it was gone.
so completely sold out. We got 2
Got 2.
because I wasn't sure if I wanted an 8 or a 9. So this one's the 9 and it seems to fit quite well on this finger. But the 8 fits quite well on this hand. So I need to decide what I'm going to do.
We might be doing something with the other one
Might.
because I know some people wanted it and missed out. So we're gonna think about that one. We're gonna think about
we're
what
gonna we can sit on that one and consider it. But I'm very happy to have it. It's awesome. I want to say that this is Snips. This is not full
it's Snips.
Ahsoka.
It's Snips.
Fulcrum, because it's got Snips has a little chain that goes from her headpiece back and then separates in the
it's
back.
absolutely Snips.
So this is Snips. Still amazing.
It's awesome.
I love it so much.
It's just really funny for me because we're talking about like the designer, like the keep upright on the thing and the attention to detail. And so people put their heart and soul and passion into things that they work on. And they Rock Love did a whole collection of jewelry, but this is the only one that sold out in like 5 minutes. All the other jewelry is still available. And they're all limited edition.
I think the other one
the AT-AT?
The AT-AT necklace. I think it's super cute. So the designer of that one said that she loved the way that it does kind of look like a dog,
right,
or something.
Yeah, it does.
And so she made it fully articulate. So like the legs bend and move, and the head moves and everything. So I'd kind of like to get that one, but it's $135.
Yeah, you can check them out. We'll throw a link to Rock Love in the description. They're really cool jewelry.
They are. I love them a lot. So I am in love with this ring. I wish I could wear it to work, but I think it'd break through my gloves, unfortunately.
Well, it's a prized possession.
It is a prized possession. And it came with a card that had the Ashley's
signature.
Ashley's signature, and then the background of it is the designer's drawing of it. That the template of it or whatever that they went off of.
Which is really cool to see their like custom work or whatever.
Yep.
So before we wrap up today, we'll just we talked about like our trip and our road trip. We will continue to talk about. It's not going to be inundated with the Galaxy's Edge from here on out, but there's going to be definitely some moments that come to us that I'm going to want to talk about. But we did refly the Falcon.
We did.
As an engineer. The lines for if you go in the single line, even though it might say like 60 minutes, it's usually 15 minutes for single.
Yeah.
Just realize if you go in the single line, you probably won't ever pilot it because how they do it is they grab groups from the left, from the longer line, a group of people, and they hand out these cards in order of like front to back, and they use the single people to fill it in. So if you go in the singles line, you'll probably be an engineer, which was really a fun time.
It was.
But it's harder to enjoy like the flight story versus when you're flying, you have to look to see what you're doing versus an engineer, you look off to the side.
Definitely, if you have the time, definitely go through the normal line first just to see if you can get the chance to fly it, just so then you can fully experience it. And then if you want to go again, going through the singles line is fine. You may or may not be able to go together if you're in a group. Jeremy and I were lucky, so we were able to go together.
Yeah, there was 4 people and they needed 2 people. So Karen and I were next in line to go. So that was really cool. But it was just really hard to come home from Galaxy's Edge and Batu. And so maybe when we're in Anaheim next year for the celebration, I want to check out that other ride that comes out in January.
Yes.
That'll be cool. Maybe get a chance to get some of the stuff that was sold out, because I wanted to get sabacc cards. They had some dice. And dice are always really cool and they're super cheap. But we got these sweet holocrons, and we got Hera's Calicori. This is, you might notice, is the Jin's doll that she plays with in Rogue One. So the type of merchandise and everything that they have there is just absolutely incredible, and it's stuff you would never expect to be sold as merch. So it's really cool. I love Galaxy's Edge. And then any other Star Wars news I have is Thrawn Treason came out this month. Kara and I have
just the other day.
Yeah. Kara and I have read the first 2 books. I highly recommend them. And then Thrawn Treason is out on both Audible and wherever your favorite books are sold. I highly recommend going and checking that book out. I can't wait to get through and read that one.
I know. I'm super excited.
Well, we'll have to just do like a nerdcast where we talk about, once we finish it, talk about the Thrawn story. So people who, if they don't have time to read the books, they can get some of the lore and understand about Thrawn. But
we'll have to put up a spoiler.
We'll do a spoiler cast.
Well, because I know, just talking about the Thrawn book specifically, there is, so I follow the Galactic Vampire on Facebook, and some of the girls saying, do not follow, I forget what his name is.
Yeah, there's somebody who...
But there was a guy who read the book, and then, or listened to the book or read or whatever, and then tweeted everything that happens in the book. So he spoiled it for everyone. It's like... Come on.
Why would you do stuff
Why
like
are there
that?
people like that in the world? Just don't be a jerk. Be nice. Let people enjoy things. So we'll probably have to put up a spoiler on ours. What are you doing with Pink?
I'm just going to hold it so the camera can see her as she says goodbye.
Did you turn her off?
No. Look, she's
I turned her off. Didn't I? No, I don't know.
Anyways.
The batteries are pretty low.
Oh.
Yeah, batteries are low.
She's here. We're good. Anyway, so this is P1NK. Oh. Where's Chris? You gonna look at Chris? Oh.
I know.
All right. Well, we just want to say thank you so much for watching. We love doing these. We're going to keep doing this for the foreseeable future. We just love that you guys are here. Hopefully you like some of our stories. If you thought anything was funny, let us know what you thought. I want to say shout out to the people at the garage sale. You actually ran into my mom the other day, which was hilarious. They were at the garage sale because what I was thinking about because of the books.
Yeah.
And so they had read the Ahsoka book, and Serenity came down and was asking Kara a question about Ahsoka.
And they were able to answer.
And this lady was able to answer it. And then so you happen to run into my mother. So thank you guys so much for checking us out. We hope you keep watching and stuff like that. I also am excited to talk. We're going to probably announce, we're going to do a community build. So Duluth is known for the aerial lift bridge. So we're going to be doing a Lego build down there. Stay tuned for dates when we're going to do that. Our parody is going to be...
Yeah, I was going to say, the parody, I'm excited for that.
We're going to be working on the parody and stuff like that. So we just want to, if you like what we're doing, go ahead and give us a subscribe. You'll know that we're coming back. Ring the bell. You get a notification when we're doing that. And throw a like on this video if you thought it was cool or fun. Or if you want to go to Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, do it. So may the force be with you.